Okay, so thanks for staying. If you're just tuning in, you're watching The Ghanaian Farmer. My name is Enyo Namba. We see me in town. Remember to call me Ghana's finest farmer. And this is what I've been looking forward to every day. A proper coffee farm. And here we are. This is a co-founder, Pual Salimo.
Yeah, welcome.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too. It has been a while.
I know, right?
Yeah, we just been texting and we haven't met.
And we are here today.
Sure.
Okay, so Paul, first of all, where do we find ourselves? What do you call this district?
This is particularly Captural District.
Okay.
This particular area is called Pual Sub-County.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you come to this district, what are some of the common things you found the farmers growing, cultivating?
I think the biggest thing they're cultivating here is the maize and the matoke.
Maize and matoke.
Yeah, banana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you told me behind the scenes that you had a degree in tourism and hospitality.
Yeah.
How long did you work in that space?
I've been working in the tourism space for about 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Doing safaris around Uganda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you still doing that?
Yes, we're still doing that. Though right now our client base dropped because of the Israel war, and our biggest source market was Israel. Yeah.
Okay, so what led you into becoming a farmer? Because you have a lot on your hands as someone who is in safari and all that. What led you to become a farmer?
Apparently, we have been doing a lot of coffee tours. We have been including them in the itineraries of a couple of international clients. And it reached a point where I was taking these clients as they were going back to the airport. We're passing by the supermarket and I would see them probably purchase 20 packets, 30 packets of coffee. And I'm like, I know the source of coffee. Why can't I do this? I can just go buy the sourced coffee, pack it myself and still sell it to my own clients with my own brand.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how it started out.
Okay. So, right when you got that idea, was it immediately you came to get a land and then started the farming?
No.
Or it took you some time?
No, we started from up the value chain.
Okay.
We started by sourcing and packing. So it reached a time where it wasn't very sustainable sourcing. You get that the supplier this time has the product, the next time the supplier didn't have a product. And then also we're not sure about the quality of the product that we're getting supplied to our clients. As time went on, we realized that we need to get our own product.
Okay.
That's where we came and zeroed down and we're like, we need to start planting.
Okay.
And we do that. Why we zeroed down was majorly to have a constant supply.
Okay.
Given the fact that our client base was increasing. Second, wanted to be sure of the quality of our coffee.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's talk about the land that you used for the farming. In Uganda, how is your system like? Do you buy outrightly or you lease from the owners?
Yeah, those factors, there are several factors. You could either lease, you could either inherit, or you can purchase.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Who are the landowners in Uganda? Because in Ghana, we have governments, we have families, we have real estate people, then we have individuals who have big land and they want to sell. When I come to Uganda,
apparently
who are landowners?
It's landowners, it's just the same as Ghana. The government has its own land. The families have their own land, individuals have their own land, real estate developers have their own land.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's the same system as Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with your farm, did you buy or you lease?
So particularly with this very farm, we never leased nor bought it.
Okay.
So when we came back and drew the plan to start growing the coffee, we requested for this. This was a pitch. Okay. It was an open land. Back then we used to, my parents used to dig here maize. So it reached the time where they stopped. So by the time we wrote down our proposal and requested for this specific land, they gave it to us because at that point we were not using it. It was like an open field. Yes.
Okay. So how many acres again are we talking about?
The place is about 18 acres.
18?
Yes.
Okay. What variety of coffee are you growing here?
So specifically, in Uganda, we have two varieties of coffee. We have the Robusta and we have the Arabica. But at this specific place, we are doing Arabica. Reason being, this is an island area.
Okay.
Robustas grow in the lowland areas. That's central Uganda.
Okay.
So at the island areas, we are growing specifically Arabica. And the variety that we have here at the farm is the SL14 and the SL28.
Okay.
Yes.
Are those what your consumers want?
Yes, that is what is why we planted that specifically is it's resistant to most of the pests and diseases.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
There are new varieties that have been developed by several coffee researchers. We have the Catmore and what, but if you look at this kind of varieties, they are not really resistant to diseases. There's a neighbor just right away from here who planted that specific variety. You can see that you harvest it for about only 5 years, and you have to dig it off. Yet this, I could probably harvest it for 15 years plus before I do stamping. That's why we opted for this variety.
For the next 15 years?
Yes.
Before?
We stamp it.
Stamping means cut?
Yes. No, you don't cut the whole plant. You just cut it from the stem. Then it starts growing back. It will take about 1.5 to 2 years to grow back and start putting up fruits.
Wait, do you mean when it comes to coffee, I don't remove the whole tree?
No, you don't remove the whole tree. You stamp.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you come with a saw, hold the tree. If this has grown to a mature stage, so you'll come, bend it, and cut from the stem down here. Yeah, so that is called stamping. Then it starts growing back. It will take about 1.5 to 2 years. Yeah.
How many months old are your coffee? Let's stand here for a while because I can see them fruiting. How many months old?
Basically, this is 2.5 years.
2.5 years?
Yeah, probably right now we'll be having higher production, but there's been a lot of effect of climate change and what. That's why you see that some are bearing. It has majorly been because of climate change. Yes. But this is 2.5 years as per now. So
how many months more to start ripening for you to harvest?
It's supposed to be 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So this year we might have a small harvest, but next year we are looking at full capacity harvest from the whole farm. Yeah. This year we shall just be doing a very, very small harvest. Yeah.
Okay. So on each plant, are you able to tell how many beans do you have on each plant?
Averagely, what we look and the way we have been taking care of the crop, averagely, we look at having a minimum of 10 kilograms of cherries from each tree.
Whoa.
A minimum of 10 kilograms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is coffee farming expensive?
I can say it's capital intensive.
Really?
Yeah. If you're doing it on large scale, but I think if we went for small scale, maybe it will be a bit affordable, but on large scale, it's capital intensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what sort of help is available for, young commercial farmers like yourself in Uganda? Do I have to cough all the money from my account, or there is some funding that you can tap into to do what you want to do?
You see, that's a very tricky question. Given the fact that I don't know if this is maybe only in Uganda, I don't know if it's the same in Ghana, but yeah, funding in back in Uganda is a bit complicated, yet it's supposed to be the major issue.
Right.
Right today morning I was reading an article where the Minister of Finance is returning back about 1 trillion shillings that had been given to the Minister of Agriculture to support farmers. Yeah, but now if Minister of Finance has released about 1 trillion shillings to the Minister of Agriculture to support farmers, it means
have you received your share yet?
I was not aware. I read it today when they're taking back the 1 trillion shillings. So farmers don't have this information.
Okay.
You'll find that when Minister of Agriculture receives this money, they will partner with different banks. So instead of banks trying to advertise these loan to farmers, banks are instead advertising their own loans.
Wow.
Yeah, not why they wouldn't really advertise that, because this will come at a smaller interest rate than the one for the bank. So probably many people will run into the fund that has been given by government. So I think it's a big issue. And the only way it will be that such funds will work probably is through cooperatives. Yeah, sure.
How is that cooperative system? Is it working in Uganda?
No, it's dead.
Okay.
Yeah, the cooperative system died long ago, yet that was supposed to be the biggest support as per now. I believe if we still had cooperatives, right now I think the coffee sector and probably would have been much more better. The other day I was watching an interview by Amos Wekesa, probably the biggest tourism person in Uganda, and in his interview he was he picked out a point and he was saying at some point Bugisu Cooperative Union was the one that was determining prices of Arabica coffee worldwide. That's just in barley, but it was determining prices of Arabica coffee. As per now, we have no say about the prices in the world market.
Okay. Now, were they all planted at the same time?
Yes.
Because I can see some are very young.
So this coffee was all planted at the same time.
Okay.
But when we planted, we had wrong timing.
Okay.
So what happened is some died and some survived.
Okay.
So as you see, the ones that are still young, those are the ones that we keep replacing. When they die, yeah. So we have a nursery bed where we don't buy. We have a nursery bed. Why we also did the nursery bed is to check on quality of the seedling.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So whenever a crop dies, we keep replacing. We keep replacing. Okay. Yeah.
Now I realize that you have a lot of other plants in between the coffee. Like banana, onions, I saw cabbage. Why do you do that? So basically, first the major purpose of the bananas was to give shade to the coffee. Okay. Besides giving other shade trees that we have planted around, but the major purpose of the bananas was to give shade to the coffee. Okay. Yeah, and that's why we have planted them given some meters away from each other to provide coffee and not really affect the coffee. Then the reason why we planted these onions was this field was too big to control the weeding. So we planted onions to control the weed in the farm. Okay. Yeah. Though our agronomist has given us advice that this should be the last time we are planting this because it removes nutrients from the soil. Yeah. Yet the coffee is supposed to be getting nutrients. Okay. Yeah. So he advised probably the next time we are doing intercropping, maybe possibly we could do legumes. Okay. Instead of this. Yeah. Okay. How many workers do you have under your watch? Right now, permanently, we have about 8 workers. 8? Yeah. Okay. Permanently. And temporarily? Temporary, we can also sub to about 25 to 30. What has been your biggest challenge as a young commercial farmer? Funding. Funding? Yeah. Okay. I think if we had funding, we would have done expansion. Right now, I think we'll be hitting about like 30 to 40 acres of coffee. Yeah. But you have plans for expansion? Yeah, right? we do have plans of expansion. Probably in the next 2 to 3 years, we shall be doing expansion. Okay. Once we start harvesting this, because our major target market is export. We're exporting majorly. So once we start doing the export, maybe we shall use the funds to recur and expand. Okay. What is data saying about coffee farming in Uganda? I think we'll really advise young people out there to go and farm coffee. Reason being, from the early years, the statistics were showing we're only producing about 2.8 million bags of coffee. Right now, we are at this current time, we have reached, I think, about 6.8 million bags of coffee. Wow. And the export board is estimating Uganda to export about 20 million bags of coffee in the next couple of years. Right. So if you look at that, it means the demand day in, day out of coffee is growing. Yeah, the market prices worldwide are also going higher. Previously, coffee used to run for about, it used to reach a peak of maybe about 9,000, 10,000. But as of January, when we checked, parchment price of Arabica had hit about 18,000 Uganda shillings. Really? Yeah. Do you enjoy being a farmer? Because as a young person, graduate with your degree, you should be in an office cooling off in air conditioning. What are you doing on the sun? Do you enjoy what you do? Yeah, I think it's much more interesting. Yeah, feel the fresh air, meet a couple of people. Are you kidding? We have a couple of people like you coming through here from all the way. Yeah, it's an interesting job actually. Yeah, it's interesting to be down here at the farm, spend some time. Yes, we have an office back in Kampala in Tinda, but we are not fully there. Yeah, I wouldn't also be interested to sit in office in Tinda and just stroll around my chair. It's so boring. We need to be out here. Yeah. Office work is boring. Very boring work. Very, very boring. Oh, okay. It's been such fun coming to visit your farm and see what the area view is so beautiful. And what you're doing here is very inspiring. Now, what do you have then to tell other young people who really don't have farming in their priorities? Farming is a complicated issue. I think by the time you come into it, maybe the passion may either grow as time goes on. But I think by the time you need it, first you must have passion. Second, you must have really put enough finance aside. I think no one should lie to you that it's a cheap option you'll run to. And also we are doing purposely this, and why guys usually see me tweet and all that.
we're trying to tell people outside there that farming is not only for retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah, farming can specifically be done by young people.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you heard it from Paul Salimo. Farming can be done by young, energetic people, not people who are going on retirement. That's not a plan. Okay. So finally, if the diaspora people who are watching will be coming to your safari, you know, book you for this tourism and all that. But if someone has an interest in the farm as well, what do I look out for as a Ghanaian, for instance? I want to have a land.
So what we do majorly, what we have been doing majorly even before we put up this farm is whenever we're doing itineraries for probably a 7-week safari, we make sure we include farms that these international clients can come and visit and experience. After this, we are going to go for a small session to look at the value addition, what really happens after the harvest and all that. Yeah, and we're going to show you the process, what really happens when we bring in clients and we take them through this process, take them through the value addition and all that. Yeah, and you'll have a taste of coffee, not specifically from our farm, but at least our coffee at the farm is not ready, but you'll have a taste from the coffee that we are sourcing from different farmers around to pack.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Once again, if we're looking for you on social media, tell your viewers, how do they find you?
LinkedIn, Salimo Pual, Instagram, Salimo Pual, Facebook, Salimo Pual, and Twitter, Salimo Pual.
Okay, so that's how to get hold of him, to book, to come to his farm, his resort, anything that you want to know if it comes to tourism and farming. Salimo Pual, he's the co-founder for Rhythms Africa
Safari and Coffee Limited.
And Coffee Limited. Woo! Such a young chap, but doing amazing, incredible things here in Eastern Uganda. My name is Anyonam, and this has been the Ghanaian Farmer. But right after talking to him, I caught up with an agronomist in a different farm, and he gave you the technical side, okay? More of the soil, the pH, you know how they say their terms. He talked about that. Our interview is going to focus more on the agronomy practices that one would have to do before going into coffee plantation. Let's start off with the kind of land or soil that is good for planting coffee.
Basically, in Uganda, we have around 4 types of soils. But for coffee growing, we need sandy-loam soil. Sandy-loam soil.
Okay.
It's the good soil for planting coffee.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. What should be the pH of the soil I'm going to use to grow my coffee?
Okay, before we go to pH, before you plant coffee, there are things you look at.
Such as?
pH, soil pH. You have to test the soil to know the acidity or the alkalinity of the soil. But with coffee, when you're planting coffee, when you've tested, the pH has to be between 6.5 to 7 pH.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then that's the required.
That is the required one.
Okay. So after you've tested your soil, you know your pH, what else do you do land preparation wise?
Okay. Land preparation, actually, it depends on the area where you are, and it depends on the capital which you have.
Okay.
Some farmers, like for us here, we have opened up a new land up there. But the way we have prepared our land is different from other farmers down there. For us here, our land is on a sloping side. So if you go and cultivate down, you will destroy the soil structure. Okay. Actually, here before, we were not even cultivating our land. We were just using other activities like slashing and not to destroy the soil structure. So land preparation, as I've said, it depends on you. Okay. You don't need even just to go and wait. You can come and slash. Okay. After slashing, you make holes. After making holes, you plant. Okay.
Now, coffee. Do you plant coffee through nursery or direct seeding?
Oh, coffee we plant. We have a specific spacing we use. Okay. Yeah, here coffee we don't use seeds. We use seedlings. Okay. Yeah, seedlings, they are raised in a nursery bed. After being raised in a nursery bed, they are transplanted into the seed bed.
Yes. How long does a nursery take before it's ready for transplanting?
Actually, it depends on the variety of the coffee you're planting. And it depends on the management you take care. Okay. But it's around 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time.
It's not a wrong time for someone to have coffee. You have to
prepare your mind.
Yeah, before you go into coffee farming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's talk about the seed you buy to prepare the nursery. Do you buy in kilos, and how much does it cost?
Okay, basically here in Uganda, most of the seeds we buy them from certified seed dealers. Actually, seed dealers, basically it is UCDA. UCDA is the only one, I think it's the recognized one in Uganda to sell these certified seeds. Yeah.
Okay. So after 6 months of nursery, and then you bring for transplanting.
Yeah.
What time of the day is good for transplanting your coffee?
Transplanting is done very early in the morning or late in the evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's look at the distance in between the coffee plants. What should be the required distance?
The required one, in Uganda we have been using 10 by 10 feet.
Okay.
That's around 3 by 3 meters.
Okay.
But in Brazil, I think, the Brazilian style has come, where we use 8 by 5. Yes.
Okay. The hole you dig before you put the seedling, how deep or short should it be?
The hole is 2 by 2.
Okay.
2 by 2. Yeah.
And
2 meter, 2
hole,
meter. Yeah.
Is it 1 or 2 seedlings?
1.
1.
Yes.
Nice. After planting, how long does it take for me to see flowering?
Actually, it depends on how you manage your plant.
Okay.
Yeah. But basically, from the day you've planted till you harvest, you take like 2 months, 2 years, I mean.
2 years.
2 years.
Then you see?
Then you see flowering coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long does it take between flowering and fruiting of the coffee itself?
From flowering, as I've said, it depends on the variety you've planted. For Robusta, it's around 9 months. For Arabica, it is between 6 to 9 months.
Then the fruit itself starts coming?
Not the fruit.
Okay.
Up to ripening.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What are some of the proper practices you do to the plant when you put it in ground? What do I do? Do I weed around? Do I use fertilizer? Tell me what you do as an agronomist.
As an agronomist, what I have to tell you is that there are a lot of activities which you do on this plant so that you can harvest it. Some of them is pruning. Pruning.
Okay.
Another thing is weeding.
Weeding.
Yes. Another thing is pest management.
Pest management.
Another thing is soil and water conservation.
Okay.
That is digging trenches and water. Another thing is fertilizer application. Yeah.
Okay. These are the things you do.
Those are some of the things.
Or monthly?
It depends.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, you mentioned pest management. Are there any pests that attack coffee plants?
There are a lot of pests which attack these plants. Basically, in Uganda, we have, for those people who are dealing in Robusta, they are mostly being affected by coffee wilt, coffee wilt disease. But here, on this farm, the diseases which we have, it is just few of them.
Okay. So how do you prevent them? Or what are the, first off, if I come to my farm, my coffee farm, what do I look out for? The symptoms to see that my plant is being attacked or potentially being attacked by pests?
Actually, there are a lot of things you look at to see that my plant has been affected by any disease or pest. Like for us here, last year I think we are affected by reef rust. Reef rust, and I think as we move around, you will see reef rust. Like this one. This is a sign of
the yellow spots.
This yellow stuff. Those are,
Okay. So what are the preventive measures? Do I spray them, or do I uproot the plant and throw it away? What are the preventive measures?
Some of the preventive measures here for us which we use. We do weeding. Because when you do weeding, there are some weeds which are hosts for that disease. So if you weed your garden very well, some of the pests and diseases will not attack you. Yes.
How long does it take coffee to fully mature?
That's around 2 years.
2 years.
From planting up to harvest.
2 years.
2 years.
Then it's fully matured.
It's mature.
For harvesting.
For harvesting.
How many times will I harvest my coffee from the plants when it's fully mature?
When it's fully mature. For us here in Uganda, basically we have 2 seasons in a year for harvesting.
Between when and when?
Between August and December. That's the season. Then from yeah, but I'm not.
August to December, and then another. All right. How many kilos do you harvest per plant?
Actually, it depends.
Okay.
It depends on the management practices.
Right.
Yeah. But for us here, every plant is supposed to give us 2.5 kg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is coffee a water-loving plant? Does it love a lot of water? Because I see irrigation all over your farm.
No, irrigation is here. Not that because our coffee loves water.
Okay.
But the area we are in, it's mostly affected by the climate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to have water.
We need to have water. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're about to wrap up our conversation. Is coffee planting or coffee cultivation expensive? Is it an expensive farm to do?
Coffee farming is not expensive, but it's all about passion.
Passion? I'm investing money to make profit and you're telling me passion?
It's all about passion.
Why?
So if you're not passionate about what you're doing, you cannot get anything from coffee.
Okay.
But it's not all expensive to maintain this coffee garden. Yeah.
Okay. Now I see you've intercropped the coffee with, is it banana?
Yeah.
And I also see another plant. What do you call this plant?
These are castor oils.
Why do you have different plants in between the coffee?
Yeah, these castor oils, let me start with castor oils.
Yes.
These are shady plants.
Okay.
And another thing, the reason as why we planted these castor oils is that they are faster. They grow faster.
Okay.
That's why we use this one. But there are a lot of these shady trees which we can use. And basically here we have cordia, we have ficus, there are many shady trees we have. And even this matoke, we intercropped with our coffee to act as a shady tree. They act as shades.
Okay.
They give us shades, and at the same time it's food.
What? Coffee loves shade, huh?
Yeah, coffee is a shady plant.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So after the coffee is harvested, what happens next?
Actually, when you've harvested coffee, there is a lot of, it's a process from harvesting to actually to the final consumer.
Okay.
But for us here, when we harvest our coffee like this, we do what we call pulping. Then after pulping, we dry. After drying, then
Okay. So my last question would be, do I need some form of knowledge to be able to be a coffee farmer? Or I can just randomly, I have money, I got a land, and I just go into planting?
In coffee farming, even if you have how much, when you don't have the knowledge of coffee farming, you will fail automatically.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I guess if Ghanaian farmer want to cultivate coffee, I need to come and spend some time on your farm. Yeah,
you need to visit farmers. Yeah, so that you can get knowledge on how to grow coffee and to manage coffee. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that has been an interesting, very interactive interview with the farm manager and agronomist in, what's the farm name again?
It is Sarawali Coffee.
I need to eat some okra from Ghana, then I can But oh my goodness, this is eastern part of Uganda, precisely the Kapchorwa district. Is one of the districts where they cultivate coffee. And right after this, I'll be interviewing a young man who was into tourism, but then something happened and he has to find himself now a farmer and tourism. I'll be bringing you the continuation of this interview in his farm. He equally has a coffee farm, but this is the Ghanaian farmer. My name is Anyonam, but when you see me in town, call me Ghana's finest farmer. I'm the only farmer who is that fine in Ghana. Remember to subscribe and share all the videos. But hey, if you're out there and you want to invest in Africa, well, this is Uganda for you. You might want to come here and see what you can do. But I'll see you on the other side. Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome.
Have a beautiful day.